All right. Good evening, guys. Welcome to another episode of our weekly Forex Outlook. So I couldn't share my outlook last week because of my other engagements. So look to see what this new week has to offer. All right. So the first important thing to note on DXY is that we cleared this low and we have finally delivered this idea. I talked about it some weeks back when I was explaining my two possible biases for DXY. When I talked about the sell from here or us flipping this level and getting this high. So now, what do we expect? I was looking at this high as an engagement for this key level here. That was my main interest in that level. So now seeing how we've closed this past week with the rejection of this key level here, I'll look to see if we get that push back to this key level this week. So I'll be looking for something like this. If that we tagged into it last week, my bias would have been very, very, very clear. So over the coming weeks, I'll be looking for something like this. That will be very, very perfect. So since we got rejection here, so there are two things. So this is a 50-50 scenario. We are currently rejecting this high here. We closed above it last week, 2 weeks ago. This current week, we closed below 50% of this candle. So this is a sign of willingness to go lower, not minding this key level rejection we got here. So now we look at the daily. So now on the daily, we are having shift to the downside. So remember, this is at our weekly key level. This is at our weekly key level. This is the weekly engagement we're looking at. So now we've noticed that we are having a shift in structure here. So we can watch to see if we are going to take out this trade before going back up. So the reason why I'm actually going to, why I'm interested in playing trading GXY this way is because the only confirmation of that initial push from the daily time frame is going to be close above here, and that close above here is essentially going to be tagging the key level that to sell from. So my interest right now is to look for sales down to here, and from here we'll look for buys to take out this high tag here before we continue coming down. So if someone is looking something like this, before we continue going down. So I interest this present week to see if we can write this down to take out this low. If this delivers selling the week, we look for ways to write it back up. So let's look at 4 hours. So for me, the first sign that there are actually two levels here we can look to sell this X1 from. This is the first level with here as in. But this is a more risky entry. So this is a more risky entry. But I'll be willing to take this risk if there's confirmation on it. So then the second entry is going to be a flip of this level. So if we have a break and close below here, then we can start looking for that sell on Bitcoin to take it down to there. But we best use confirmation for the two entries. I think now we can take a look at EURUSD. So EURUSD is having several similarities with what we saw on TXY, right? So we have this high here, price used to take out this high. Now the low that sponsored the entire move was this one. So this entire portion of the price action has been fulfilled. Well, my interest is seeing how we are going to drop down to take this one. For now, but because of the price action we are seeing here, this very strong weekly close last week, I'll expect us to push higher again this week before we drop down to take out this low. So my and secondly, this rejection that formed last week was not a very strong rejection. If it was a good rejection and the daily structure was in support, I would have been looking to take a sell, a very early sell. So we're looking at what we have here, similar to what we had on the DXY. We are having a shift in structure here. So we've gotten that break above here. And I are rejecting it, so I'm expecting some temporary bullishness. So I'm expecting some temporary bullishness to take us to this daily key level we see as inducement. We also observe that the daily key level and inducement are in premium of the price range. So when we do get to this point, if we do get to it, we'll look for a rejection and then we take sales to bring us back here. So, but early trades for the week, as you can see on the 4 hours, very similar to what we had on TXY. So if we can get retracement to reject from this key level, it will be fantastic. But if we keep pushing up from here, then look at the 30 minutes for any continuation structure to target this one. And now for GBPUSD. GPUSD is a little bit different from EU and TX5 for two main reasons. One, now this high, right? That high, the move to take out that high was sponsored by this low, and we've not yet taken it. But for EU and TXY, we've already taken out this low that sponsored the move. Now on GPUSD, we also have a much stronger rejection on the weekly time frame. So you can see the amount of wick that we turned over from the buyers. So I'm more bearish on this one. So I'm actually going to be expecting straightforward sales on this. I won't be trying to buy it. But if it does buy this week, which I'm not expecting it to, then this is going to be a good target for the buy with here starting off. But I don't have any interest in buying it. My focus is just going to be how do I sell this to this point, because it's actually a very good we've changed structure here. Weekly is showing us very clear good rejection. So look forward to look good news of that. Okay, so in my opinion, the best way to engage this pair will be to wait for a break below this low. So once we have that clean rejection, rather that close below it, I will start looking to take my sell into. So once we get this, during the retracement, the retrace of the level, I'll take my sell. target. Now, obviously, this is actually going to be a really early entry, but I am not interested in catching the top of the move. So let it continue going down and we'll see how it moves. On the 30 minutes, so 30 minutes, we have a good level to join the sales again here. So this is a good level to join the sales, but I'm not interested in doing this early this week. So I rather allow Monday to start moving down. We get this break below the 4 hours level, we take it. If we don't, we so the reason I'm not trying to take this, like I said, is because I personally feel this is going to be a risky entry. But those who like risk, they can check if it's worth it for them. So 4 out the first target. Um, that's about 9.5 out to the last target. Right, so the next pair of interest is to waste 30, right? Now, there are several things actually going on with this year's 30. So the first one, we look at the weekly time frame and look at it on the line chart. So, see at this level that has been holding price up here. So this was like the last structural level to me. So we finally broke through it this week, last week rather. Now the next place of interest is here. So because I can actually see us using here as an inducement to give us another push. So probably something like this, of course with confirmation. Something. So this is what I'm looking at here, right? So but now for this present week, I want to see us retest and reject this key level. Right? So we push back into it, then we sell down to this place. So let's see what the daily looks like. Perfect. The daily is perfectly aligned with that, right? So this is the weekly key level we're looking at. So we can adjust that to this level. So now we can wait for a daily rejection here. And if the 4 hour confirms it, we push it down. So that's just it for yourself. I'm seeing something interesting on USD JPY. What I'll share that one in the group. So can expect something like this from the expected. 4 hours we confirm it. We should get like a rejection of probably this level on the 4 hours. We reject it, then I'll break downwards. I'll take it. I'll look the steps on the day. So US 100. Hold on. Alright, so my expectations for US 100 is actually quite straightforward. So we finally flipped this level and stayed below. That's one. Secondly, we have rejected this key level here. We rejected it thrice now. And so I expect this last one to be. That's two things from the weekly pushing us down. And now I'm expecting us to take out this equal loans here. So probably this one. So few this value gap. But to have a conservative with the entry and take out here. Now on the daily, let's say the daily is confirming it good. Now on the daily, we've also had a flip of this daily key level here. Yes. So we've had a flip of this level. So this daily break we are seeing here now has confirmed our weekly rejection that was happening here. So my interest is going to be a daily rejection here. Although it seems like I'll need to look at it. 4 hours too. So I'm expecting something like this on the daily. Something like- So we'll see something like this. But I want to also see if straightforward rejection now will continue dropping from there. Let me take a look at power. The Forex is giving us a much better end. Forex is giving us a much better end. So we can look to use here instead with all these segments. But it's important that that detail still gives us that rejection. So extend our stop loss to here. You can keep your support above the high for a more conservative end. So we expect something like this on US 100. Let's look at crude oil. Crude oil has not really been behaving properly, so I will skip that and go straight to BTC. I'm trying to keep this video below 20 minutes. Alright, so what is going on with BTC? So BTC is looking quite interesting to me. We have this weekly key level here. If you had gotten a rejection from it, it would have been a really good sell. But what you can actually also notice happening is this here. We swept liquidity above those two highs, which means that we can expect price to drop down to here and possibly to here. Right? So swept those two highs, and we are actually also rejecting this gap here. So if this weekly candle, this is closing in 5 hours, closes below here, we have successfully rejected that. So now what do we look for? We will look at the daily time frame. So on a daily time frame, we are not seeing any good structure to support it. We are not seeing a good structure to support it. But I'll be willing to consider this. So I'll see if we'll get a good retracement to this point. If we do, then we can take this we can take this and consider this. Of course, you need to add your own confirmation to it. Let me look at what the fall is showing. It won't be too different from what I'm seeing here. I think this is actually what I'm going to look forward for the entirety of the week. But if we get a rejection of this level here, it will be a fantastic place to sell. So this is the main overall sell, but if we get a rejection here, I think I'll risk it. So these are the two levels I'll be considering BTC for this. Yeah, I'll be using confirmation for it. So these are the two levels. Obviously, how many minutes I have left? Yeah, just a minute. Ethereum is not giving us any good structure for us to interact with, so I'll have to post that one within the week if I see any good setup on it. If you are just meeting coming across my channel for the first time, we have a group chat arena where you can interact with other traders, other like-minded traders. Our community is focused on our main interest is just interaction between actual traders who are looking to improve themselves and are dedicated to developing themselves and being a better trader. Thank you guys. See you guys same time next week.